So I'm not a millionaire, I don't drive Lambos or Ferraris, I don't have a penthouse apartment or a huge mansion. I don't wear expensive clothes, and I sure as hell don't go clubbing and chasing women. Yeah, I'm quite the opposite. I used to work in investment banking, and I left that world to go and start up a maths academy and a software company. Now these businesses have not made me millions, and I have no problem in saying that. These days too many people flaunt and talk about how they made their millions and sell to you how you can too. I'm not gonna boost my ego and lie to you and say, look at me, this is how much I'm making and so can you. Here's the blueprint of how you can do it. Ridiculous, it's cuckoo land. Most people on social media following like sheep just talk about money. Money, money, money and more money. It really shows the true hearts of humans. But what they so conveniently forget to discuss is the sheer brutality and hardship of what it takes to start and run a business, let alone making it profitable. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 powerful lessons I learned from starting and running businesses as someone who is not a millionaire, and the truth of what you will have to put yourself through should you wish to take that path. This is the other side that most people aren't willing to talk about or share. The first lesson I learned is it's a lonely path. Look, thinking that most people will root for you when you are starting a business is a fallacy. Very few people will be there by your side through thick and thin. Starting and running a business is a very lonely road at the beginning. Everything falls on you. You have to do everything. You wear all the hats of the business, whether it's a product or service you're providing. The accounting, dealing with customer complaints, making sure your customers are happy, everything comes back to you. During those times, it can feel overwhelming as you struggle to keep up the demands of what is required of you. When I started the Maths Academy, both family and friends did not support the idea one bit. They were completely against it and thinking that I'm throwing my life away. It was a difficult pill to swallow because I thought they would support me in the venture that I was pursuing, but clearly that was not the case. It got to the stage where I had to leave my family home, cut most of my friends out, and start everything from zero. I'll be honest with you, this was a very lonely and dark period for me. Trying to start the business and make an income from it was hard enough, but not having the support of your family and close friends made it even harder. I felt alone, no one believing in what I was trying to do or the value that I was providing. It was as if the whole world was against my vision. People make our business to be this glamorous venture. Let me tell you this, it's far from that. It's the complete opposite, especially when you're starting from zero. You think trying to get new customers, knocking on doors to get new business, getting rejected every single time, no one believing in your service, you think all of this is glamorous? It's a mental torture, having to go through very uncomfortable feelings of pain, suffering, and rejections. This is not for everyone. When you're not making money and you have bills and rent to pay, you think this is all glamorous? It's far from that. This is the reality of business and not some cuckoo-land rubbish that people portray online. It's complete nonsense and BS. Loneliness will be there in the beginning, that I can guarantee you. But if you stick it through, adapt, and overcome the challenges, you will transform into a formidable opponent. The second lesson I learned is that you will not make a profit straight away. Building a profitable business takes time and patience, and it's not always guaranteed. For the first 4 years of me starting the Maths Academy, there was nothing coming my way. There was no traction. It was a long, painful road of trying different things and seeing what works and what doesn't. There was a lot of trial and error. Of course, the ideal situation is we want our business to make a profit as soon as possible, but that is not the reality. We tend to think that if we don't make profit, the business is not viable and therefore we should stop, but that's short-term thinking. Any reputable brand takes time to build and establish itself. I'm not talking about a couple of months or couple of years, I'm talking about decades. In the US, 18.4% of business fail within the first year, 49.7% fail within the first 5 years, 65.6% fail within the first 10 years, only 25% make it beyond 15 years. If you're in the UK, 20% businesses fail in the first year and around 60% fail within the first 3 years. This is the reality. Just because someone else is doing better and they're showing their riches does not mean that it's going to work for everyone. Now, I'm not advocating against starting a business. By all means, go and start a business. It's one of the best things that you can do, but it will take a lot out of you. It will be very, very difficult. There's no two ways about it. As I was going through this experience, I accepted in my mind that I will be playing this for the long term and not the short term, which meant that every decision I was making was for the long-term vision. Everyone thinks you're crazy until you win. That's something to remember. I'm going to be honest with you, and this might sound counterproductive and actually ironic. I wasn't chasing money, I was chasing giving as much value as I can to my customers. I felt in my heart that by giving the best value to my customers, the money will follow. It will be a byproduct of the value I was giving. I know it might sound wishy-washy here, but I genuinely believe that if you have a product or service and you focus on giving genuine value to your customers, money will follow you. It's a very interesting paradox in that people think that chasing money gets you money. I don't think it does, not from my experience. Money goes to people who can add value to the marketplace. You're not solving any problems if your sole goal is to chase money and nothing else. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, who is worth $181.3 billion, said this perfectly. We're not competitor obsessed, we're customer obsessed. We start with what the customer needs and we work backwards. Make your customers the #1 priority and you will see everything else flow accordingly. The third lesson I learned is dealing with unexpected events. One of my weakest traits that I had was when things went wrong unexpectedly and I did not know how to deal with it. I was very emotional and I could not think rationally. I took it very personal. During my time of running the business, there were so many unexpected events that took place which took me by complete surprise. Events that could have spelled the end of my business. When I look back, it was not the event that was the issue as such, but the way I responded to the event. My response was not great. It was erratic, anger, frustration, emotions, everything but rational. In business, that would not work because no one cares about you. As harsh as it sounds, once again, it's the reality. No one is going to pick you up. You have to do that yourself. As difficult as it was to navigate through those events, I still pushed through because I did not have a plan B. I did not want to go back to the corporate world, so I was willing to do anything and everything to making sure that this worked, even though the pain was so difficult to deal with. I endured the pain and adapted to overcome it. Now, the bigger you get, the bigger the problems, but you do build a thicker skin in the game, and your character is a lot stronger, so you are better equipped at dealing with it. People forget that when you're starting and running a business, you will come up against so many problems and obstacles, and you have to navigate through these while still providing a quality service to your customers. It's mentally draining and difficult to do, but with anything, the beginning stages are always going to be challenging. Once you overcome it, you build capacity to take on more and endure more. In a way, that is life. We are always going to be dealing with unexpected things, but it's not the event in itself that's the problem. It's how we deal with the event that's the problem. Overcoming unexpected events is part of entrepreneurship. It's part of the package you are signing up to. One of the beautiful things about us humans is we can adapt and overcome pretty much anything if we put our mind to it. Build your mind first, so when these things do come at you, you will be better equipped at dealing with it. The fourth lesson I learned is it's not as glamorous as people make it out to be. We see all over social media how people portray themselves living these extravagant lives. To some extent, it might be true. Fine, no problem. But it gives the wrong message to people watching or listening to this. You see, they don't show you the dark days, the struggle, the years and years of suffering. To you, you would look at start a business to live that sort of lifestyle. So you go all in thinking this is your exit route, but you've got it wrong. You should not start a business because you want to live that lifestyle. A business that is started because of wanting to live a certain lifestyle will not be a business for the long term. You have to understand that that lifestyle is a byproduct of you doing well. The moment you start thinking about your lifestyle being more important than the business in and of itself is when the business starts degrading and going down. To build a reputation in your field takes years and years of work. It will not come overnight. There's going to be a lot of sacrifices you need to make so you can focus on building your business when most people just want to go and have fun. There's going to be many days, months and years you're going to have to cut social interaction because your business needs your full time and effort and commitment. This is the real glamour of starting and running a business. Everything starts from zero. When are you going to start? Peace.